nanoplasty on blonde hair without creating any brassy or yellow or orange or red tone? Welcome to the SOS. My name is MJ. I'm a nanoplasty specialist and I'm here today to talk to you specifically about blonde hair and no brassy tones. Welcome to this live. I'm very happy to be here today. By the way, my house is still not organized because moving is terrible. I hate it, moving houses, because my life is in a mess for a few days and this is not exciting at all. But I am here to talk to you guys about how to do nanoplasty on blonde hair without creating brassy tones. And if you want to know more about that, stay here with me because we're going to talk about very, very important points, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you guys is thank you so much for watching our lives, to engage with us, to respond to our questions. It's been very exciting, this whole journey with you guys through this time where I've been teaching you about nanoplasty. So I know that right now we've got a lot of people talking about nanoplasty, but I'm very, very happy to be one of the first ones in Australia to talk about nanoplasty and be able to teach so many people as we did. Today I was doing a review with my team and we've been teaching, we've taught about 6,900 salons in Australia. We taught them nanoplasty, which is amazing. CRM, how are you, my love? I'm so happy that you are here today. I'm very excited to be in Adelaide with you. Thank you so much for watching our live. So we're going to be talking about blonde and no brassy. Thank you so much for being here again. I'm very happy to see all of you watching this live. I know that many of you watch later on because Thursday is crazy. And I'm not expecting you to watch right now. So you're going to watch later on. So let's go to the blonde concept. I've done a live last week. And it was one of the most amazing lives I've done. I spoke about the density of the product. I was able to explain to you guys scientifically why some products are a little bit more watery than other products, which makes so much sense when you understand deeply the difference between one and the other. One has this and one has that. The ingredients that makes the hair thicker, the product thicker, and the ingredients that make the hair straight in comparison with that. So if you guys have any question about, oh, what is the consistency of the product? My product's a bit more watery. I prefer products that is a bit thicker. Please go back to that live because I responded everything. I responded with the ingredient list so you guys can see what is the ingredient that creates the thickness and why it's so important to have less of this product on the bottles. Otherwise, you create a whole bunch of issues later on. So I explained to you guys not only based on visual information, it was based on science, on ingredients, on cosmetology. So you will be able to understand that better. But let's go to the blonde hair because this is the subject of this live today. And I want to make sure that you're going to leave here today knowing about that. So there is a bit of confusion of what is the percentage that I need to mix? Should I need to mix half of the W1 with the half of the W2 and percentage of this and that? The percentage thing, it's not to confuse you. It's not to make the work harder for you. Oh, what is the percentage that I need to mix here and there? We don't create the percentages to make harder for you. If you don't understand the concept, you will be guiding yourself by how much should I be using here and there. Once you understand the reason why we have created this percentage way of doing it, you will be able to make your own call on that. Okay, so the first thing that I want you guys to understand, we created initially the W1 solution. W1 solution, let me see if I've got a bottle here around me. I do, just right there. Sam, can you get this bottle for me, please?
Sorry?
Can you grab this bottle for me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we created the solution initially. So the W1 solution is the number one. That's why it's called World 1. W1, it's World 1. The first nanoplasty in the world. So we've got the solution and this solution is white. So as you can see here, I'm putting liquid gold in this bottle. And every time I use products in lives, people are like, oh, why? This is $400 that is going away, that I can charge someone. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Oh, All right, so this is the color of the product. Can you see? I'm not going to spend much because this is liquid gold. So this is a white formula. A white formula, when you apply on the hair, we will rely on heat to make the hair straight. Without the heat, we don't have a transformation of this product. So if you don't have anything to color the hair, you're not going to be able to manage to make a really thick hair straight only using W1. MJ, can I use W1, for example, in someone with hair like yours or someone with blonde hair? Absolutely, you can. You can use the W1 on someone with dark hair, no problem. What is the issue that you have if you only have the W1 to use for everybody? You're not going to be able to make blonde hair fully straightened, because what is the issue of making the blonde hair straight? As soon as you touch the plates on top of the blonde color, a fiber that has been bleached, the color has been removed, what happens to this color? Because the sensitivity, the hair is more sensitive, you will make that strand a bit warmer. This is normal. If I get someone here with a warm hair, with a blonde hair, and I take the straightener and I pass the straightener alone, without nanoplasty, without anything, the hair will become warmer. Natural. This is something natural from blonde hair. Blonde hair cannot receive a lot of heat. I don't know if you've seen people that goes a lot to the beach and they have some parts of the hair a little bit more gold. This happens because blonde hair doesn't receive heat as a natural hair, as a virgin hair. The hair, because of the pigment is gone, they remove the pigment. The hair becomes a bit more fragile to receive color from heat as well. So what is the issue I have of doing nanoplasty on hair that has, bleach? If I have the white solution on, I don't have any color protection. I don't have any color compensation. So when I pass the straightener, I will make that hair warmer because I will need to rely on the heat to create the transformation from a coarse and frizzy hair to a straight hair. I need to rely on the color transformation. On the product transformation using the heat. On bleached hair, I'm not going to be able to do that. So what we've done, we generated a solution that is a variant of the W1 that it's called W2, World 2, second nanoplasty solution. So W2 is a variant of the W1. What we have inside of the W2. So what we thought, okay, this solution is great. It's very hydrating. It has a lot of oils, the linseed oil, the olive oil, the coconut oil. It has the butters and all the amino acids and everything to make the hair strong and straight. But then we need extra oils because blonde hair is normally drier than a dark hair. So we need extra oils, we need extra butters, and we need a Plex solution as well, apart from the pigment. So we took this base, we mix extra ingredients, we mix the pigment, which dilutes the solution a little bit. Because imagine if I get this, pour out, and then I mix other things inside, what I'm gonna do with the solution? I dilute the solution a bit. It doesn't mean that the solution is not strong, because we are talking about a fiber that is a little bit more sensitive, a little bit weaker than the dark fiber. So what happens is, when I get the W2 solution, what it does to the hair, when I apply, the pigment penetrates inside where the bleach removed the pigment. So it kind of swap the pigment. So what it does, the pigment helps me to make sure that I'm gonna be able to pass the straightener without making the hair brassy. Okay, MJ, okay, you're going too far. I'm talking too hard. Is that too hard to understand? Please guys, if it becomes hard or if you guys feel like, I'm not getting it, please ask me and I'm gonna repeat 100 times if I need to, okay? So what it does is a colorimetry. What do you mean by that, MJ? You know how kids mix yellow and blue and it becomes green? You know how that happens? I love when we use that in the toilet and the kids kind of play, you know, trying to change the color of the water. So we put like a blue thing on the water and then they pee and they see like, oh, it's green. Oh my God, so fun. Kids love to do it. Anyway, in a very silly way, I'm saying there is a color transformation when we mix colors together. So what we've done is we created the pigment. The pigment makes the hair, pay attention on that, makes the hair more ashy, more blue, more purpley. So when I pass the straightener, I still get the transformation of the color. I still get the color to be warmer. But because the color underneath was different, I didn't get the hair to become yellow. So the reason why I only sell to hairdressers, and I absolutely don't like the fact that many brands sell to non-hairdressers. I only sell to hairdressers because as a hairdresser, you know that. As a hairdresser, you know that. Because when you do color, you need to work with colorimetry. You need to match someone that has a warmer tone, a cooler tone, someone that uses this type of color, and then you know that this concept of mixing colors are very, very, very clear for you. Understand? So when we do the nanoplasty, it's the same concept. So now that comes the tricky part. Now comes the part that it's complicated, and I had to do this introduction to go through that. Let me breathe in, breathe out. Not everyone will like the color that it's gonna end up if I use the pigment by itself. What I mean by that? Someone comes in and they got a really gold, you know, champagne, and the hair it's a nice. Someone was calling me, sorry. And this person saying, I love my tone. It feels really good on me. I love it. And then they come in and you say, okay, her hair is level 8. Let me use the W2 on her. What's going to happen with that gold tone? It's going to become more ashy. Then when you pass the straightener, you're going to obviously get the color transformed, but you will still have some cool tone. And then that person that had that gold champagne, you know, sun-kissed color, she might say like, it looks so ashy, I don't like it. You as a hairdresser, can you control that? I want to ask you guys, as a hairdresser, you think you can control that? Yes or no? Respond to me. Let's do an interactive live. As a hairdresser, can you control that or not? Can you respond to me on the comments? I'm gonna wait. Let me see if I've got some water here while I wait. My kids, stickers everywhere. Okay, now say yes. Obviously you can. And how can you do it? You can do it by diluting the solution with the white formula. So if someone comes in, similar hair color to mine, that by the way needs to do the nanoplasty, and I like my gold tone because I'm quite dark, I'm quite warm. Sorry. As a Brazilian, I've got this tanned color that I don't need to go to the sun. I feel tanned. This is my color. If I use a cooler tone, having a warm color on my body, it's gonna look awful. It's gonna look like it doesn't belong to me. You know what I mean? So it doesn't belong to me, this color. So what I do when I have to do nanoplasty on my hair, I'm gonna use the W2 solution, obviously, because I've got blonde hair and I need the ingredients of the blonde hair. But I'm gonna also dilute the solution with the W2. So that would make sure that I get the proper blonde. Understand? Is that clear? If it's not clear, I'm gonna repeat. But now comes the tricky part. If someone has even If the hair is warmer, gold, wow, goldy, and a warmer tone, but they have a thick hair, you shouldn't dilute the solution. Why? Because you will need to have the full pigment as possible. So when you pass the straightener, you don't get the hair to a warmer tone. Because if you need to go to 110 is one scenario. If you have to go 230 degrees is another scenario. But if you have to go 250 degrees, it's a whole different scenario. So the more pigment you have, more leverage you have to use the heat. Is that clear? Please, guys, confirm to me that it's clear for you. The more pigment you have, more leverage you have to work on the temperature. So if my hair is quite fine, but if I had a really frizzy hair, if I had a really thick hair, I would have to use the purple solution alone to make sure that I have leverage, on the iron. Because if I go and dilute the solution half and half, and then someone comes in really thick, coarse, I use half and half, which means I'm not going to be able to go high on heat. If I'm not going to be able to go high on heat, it's not going to get straight. So your client's going to be frustrated. But then you say to me, MJ, her hair is a wire. It's thick and coarse, really thick, really coarse, really blonde. What should I do then? That's why we created the Eco Reduxer. Sarah, hello, I'm here. Can you get the Eco Reduxer for me? Could be the small one, that's fine. Eco Reduxer is your way to go. If you have a really thick, really blonde, thank you, really thick and really blonde, this is your way to go. MJ, I already bought a W2, I don't want to invest it. Buy the 120 mils. Leave that on your salon, the small one. So you don't need to invest in a big bottle. If someone comes in, you're like, baby, I got you. I got you. It's in the back of the salon. If I need, I can count on you. Why this solution is different than the W1? Why this solution is stronger than the W1? Because then we increased the amount of straightening solution on that product. But then the question that everybody asked me, MJ, why you didn't create just one single product? That's it. Why Eco Reduxer and then W1? And why? You know why, guys? Because this solution here, it's not your everyday blonde. This solution here doesn't have the plaques and doesn't have a lot of the oils. Otherwise, it will become a W2. So we have to reduce in something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to create a solution that is so hydrating. W2 plaques is amazing. Someone comes in with their hair really dehydrated and leaves with a really glossy and shiny look. What do you mean, MJ? Someone that uses this is not going to come out with a straight and glossy hair. The kind of hair that you would need to use this, it's naturally a hair that doesn't have a lot of shine. It's that coarse texture. Obviously, it will become shiny. Obviously, you know that our products bring that shine. But naturally, the hair that you were going to be using that is the type of hair that doesn't need that shine. You know what I mean? That's why creating this product was a very good option. So this is what I want you to have in mind. This is what I want you to make decisions. And that's why Nanoplasty is only sold to professionals. That's why. And as a client, if you are watching me here, now, just be aware that if you go to a place where they are not hairdressers and they are offering Nanoplasty, they will have no freaking idea of what I'm talking about. And it's going to be on your account. This is not a joke. This is serious. Because if you make someone to have a blonde warmth or blonde brassy, You're gonna spend a lot of money to remove that brassy tones, and not only that, there will be a lot of problems on the hair structure. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's not only about, oh, my hair is brassy, can you please change it? You're gonna pay a big price if you are a client and you make the hair brassy and now you want to remove that brassy tones. It's gonna take a lot from your hair, because no matter how much you pay, you cannot pay to have your hair born again. You cannot pay for that. There is no pills for you for the hair to be born again in 2-3 weeks. You're gonna be having 1 year of issues. That's why here in Flora Active, I spend a lot of my time, and trust me, I left an interview. I was in an interview. I was doing an interview for someone that I'm gonna hire here to the office, and I had to drop and I say, I'm so sorry. I have to go in this live right now. I talk to you later, because this is serious. This is serious. This is not a joke. This is the professional of a lot of hairdressers. This is what paying the bills in a lot of houses in Australia now. Nanoplasty are paying a lot of bills out there. And that's why my company's compromised. We actually aligned to give you this best education, not compromise. This is not the right word. I use the wrong word. I translated from Portuguese, which is not. My company is committed. That's the word. My company is committed to give you these trainings for free. I'm not charging you 1 single cent to be giving you this online training here that I'm doing, because this is an online training pretty much. So for you to do the best for your salon. So if you understand now this concept, okay, so I use the W2 because I need the pigment. If the hair is really thick, I need more pigment, so I can't dilute the product. So what is the best choice? It's use Eco Reduxer or to mix them together. Okay, I want you to be able to make those decisions. As I say to you many times, I could get all this knowledge, train a good team, and say, do the best nanoplasty in the whole Australia. Let's close down those salons around us. Let's be the best. Let's create the best chain of salons for us. I could do that. I could get someone, a big group in a room, train them for a month, make them a gun, and just rock and roll, just doing nanoplasty in the salon. I decided to not go to this direction, so much that you can make an appointment with me. I decided to teach everything I know. I know that a lot of people take for granted what I teach, but I'm not gonna stop, because if one are not happy and leave, another 100 will come back happier. So I'm here to teach you, hairdresser, how to do this service in the most confident way as possible, for you to think with your own head. I give you the guidelines for you to think. You're not gonna come to me and say what I need to do, and I will say do. I will say let's think together, because I want to train you to be able to think. So thank you so much for this live today. I'm very happy to teach you guys that, and you will definitely avoid the brassy tones if you follow that aspect. If you will avoid a lot of brassy issues if you follow those guidelines, because at the end of the day, the technique is very, very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live today. We're going to be talking much more about blonde hair, because I know that there is a big issues about blonde hair and damaged hair. Hope you guys enjoyed this time today, and I'll see you in the next SOS Flora, which is going to be Tuesday, 12 p.m. I'll see you there. Bye. Oopsie daisy.